Pokimane editor situation is crazy. I've seen some of the tweets, but I've been waiting to like go on stream to actually like dive into everything.
There's a crazy clip from Pokimane's stream going viral right now that I really want to talk about, but it also made me want to speak on a story I've never told about an experience I've had that's somewhat similar to the one she describes here, at least in terms of creepiness.
Whoa. Did you edit for someone and jack off to them? Moist, what is going on here? Whoa.
And, well, now I finally have a reason to get that baby off my chest here, so that's gonna be...
Whoa! Whoa!
Cathartic. Let's dive in.
Many, many years ago, when I was like super omega active on YouTube and I was working with a lot of different editors, there was one editor in particular that I would work with a lot because his edits were really, really good. But he had one major problem, which was that sometimes out of nowhere, his videos would just be like a week or two late. Months go by, and he messages me out of the blue, and he says, "Hey, do you have time to talk? I'm ready to finally tell you why I've been struggling so much with deadlines."
In the history of the human race, I don't think there has ever been a good ending to the sentence, "Hey, do you have a minute to talk?" That always precedes the most vile shit you'll ever hear in your life. I can't even imagine a situation where you'd hear that sentence and think anything other.
You have a minute to talk either means you're about to get the greatest piece of news in your life or the worst piece of news in your life. There's literally no in between. You're either about to get promoted at your new job or get fired. You know what I'm saying? You either won the lottery or just lost like all of your fucking parlays. Like, there is no in between.
Than the most negative thing you'll ever hear is about to happen. Like, imagine you're in heaven and the Lord pulls you aside right in front of the pearly gates and he says, "Hey, you got a minute to talk?" Well, you immediately assume you're just going to hell. Like, there's just no world where that sentence ever precedes good news.
Tell me why he proceeds to tell me that the reason why he would sometimes turn around videos a week or two late is because he couldn't stop touching himself.
How much were you touching yourself? What the fuck?
I was trying to pick which word to use.
Beat your meat, masturbate, play the schlong game. I don't know. There's a lot of words you can use right here. Pokey.
To me, his, in a way, employer of many, many months.
Stop for a second and really let that stew in your noodle. Let it marinate for a bit.
Yo, Moist is stupid, bro. Yo, Moist is stupid, bro. Yo.
How Coomer-brained must you be, not only to do this degenerate act of just fucking beating your meat to a streamer's gameplay footage that you're at.
Bro, this is my thing, though. I've edited before, right? So I know the editing workflow. Bro, how much are you jerking off to the point where videos are being delayed by weeks? What the? Every time you get new footage, you must be jacking off like 5 straight rounds, gang. Yo! What the fuck? Weeks is crazy. What?
Editing, but then tell her that the reason you're late on some of the edits is because you can't stop squeezing your hog to the footage that she sends you. There are so many layers to...
Yo, Moise is going crazy, bro. Squeezing your hog?
This onion here. Let's just start by picking apart the most obvious. Why? Now, I know in the most severe cases of porn addicts, they'll sometimes try and communicate directly to the porn star by, like, leaving comments or sending messages or whatever. And that's always the saddest shit you'll ever see. That'll bring a tear to even the strongest man's eyes. Occasionally, you'll see those moments where dudes try and directly communicate to the porn star, leaving comments on their posts saying things like, "Can't wait to watch this one when I'm off work," or "When my wife goes to bed, that's when the bad boy will play. Thanks for providing me with tonight's entertainment," whatever. Like, just leaving these desperate posts, you know, cock in hand, giving a salute, like, thank you, madame.
So my thing is, like, what prompted Pokimane to say this now, though? Like, what is this one of those? I'm just chatting with chat and like, oh, I forgot this shit happened. Let me tell chat. Like, what the fuck prompted this?
Damn for your service. This will be a legendary gooning sesh. But even in those cases, they're communicating with someone they don't know. This guy was her editor for many months. And he was not only jerking off to the content he was being sent, which was just gameplay videos, I imagine, or like just chatting stream moments, nothing even sexual, and he was still choking the chicken to it, fucking playing the skin flute, and then had the gall to tell her that he was doing that is just incomprehensibly unhinged. She was his boss. She was employing him. So he basically went right through HR, bypassed that protocol, went straight to the top of the food chain, kicked in the door, and said, listen, boss, I'm fucking obliterating my wiener, and what are you gonna do about it? That's why I've been late on my deadlines. Like, I don't think he came in with that energy. I bet he was, like, super shy about it. He was probably like, oh, Pokimane, so I know I've been kind of...
This how it worked, bro. This how it worked. I know it had to be on Discord, too, right? You hear me? Am I muted? Am I muted? Hello? Oh, shit. I just fucked up the video. My God, bro. I would hate to be in that Discord call, bro. What the hell? Where was I? Fuck.
Yeah, I bet he was, like, super shy about it. He was probably like, oh, Pokimane, so I know I've been kind of late recently, but...
Oh, my God. I just, like, perfectly timed that. What the fuck?
It's only because I was... Ooh, how do you say jerking off to your work?
When I tell you I've never halted a conversation so fast, because I'm like, you are the person that I send like hours of footage to. I don't want to know what you're jacking it to. I don't want to know more. I shouldn't even know how much I know right now. I shouldn't know.
I'd actually argue that it's better she did know this, no matter how awful it is. But that way she can get the fuck away from this weirdo ASAP. Just say, take a hike, Buster. This is fucking terrible.
But I felt so bad. So when he's like, you know, like this is like an addiction of mine, I genuinely felt really, really bad.
Oh my God, she's such an ally. Okay.
So I still paid him for months. What the hell do I do?
Was he working? Did you just pay someone who jacked off to you for the free ski for a couple months because you felt bad that they jacked off to you? Bro, Pokey. Hey, gang. Maybe you're trying to get your taxable income down, but I'm assuming you were paying people decent amount of wages. That is some weird ass shit to do. What the fuck? Get that hoe off the payroll.
Do fire him? Am I even allowed to fire someone because they're...
That's definitely towards the top of the list for the best
You ain't got no contracts. Let's be real. You asked your Discord, hey, any of y'all know how to edit? Reached out, probably told them to do an editing test. They passed the test. You're hired. You start today. Come on, bro. Stop. I know this process.
reasons to fire someone. That actually might be reason number one why you could go ahead and can somebody. Because they can't stop fucking beating their cock to you, their employer. And they're also not doing their job well.
Yeah, it's literally affecting their job. Like, what?
Being 1 to 2 weeks late. Which, by the way, is a long time of just fucking gooning here. This degenerate would miss his deadlines by a week or even up to 2 weeks because he was obsessively polishing his scepter to his employer. You 100% can and should fire someone like this.
Yo,
it's
shout
not
out
like the
to
Better
Jacob
Business
for the
Bureau is
raid,
going
man.
to defend him.
Appreciate you.
You're not going to have agents show up at your door knocking and be like, hey, listen, we know what happened here. You discriminated against this kind, gentle sir. You fired him just because he was obsessively masturbating to you. Well, I'll have you know this is a free country, ma'am. This is a civilized society. You can't fire someone for that. There's no crime. What is the charge? Busting a nut? An immaculate gooey nut? This is democracy manifest. Like that just wouldn't happen. But I actually understand why she was hesitant to do that. And this is where I'm going to get into a story I don't think I've ever told. I'm pretty sure I haven't. Where I had something somewhat similar happen a long time ago. Not to this level, but something closely related. So a while back...
Predictions if it was a guy or a girl? Or a person with penis or non-penis?
I used to just accept any voice acting role I was offered by any human being with a pulse on the planet. If they said they needed voice lines done, I would do them for free just because I really enjoyed doing it. It's actually how I met Jackson, and if you have ever watched the official podcast...
His name just had to be Jackson. Jackin's in the name.
You'll know that our X-Men origin story between Jackson and I's friendship is that Jackson actually scammed me through this process. He sent me an email asking if I'd be down to do voice work for his upcoming game, and then sent me like some in-game screenshots and promotional screenshots that were actually just Dark Souls images that he photoshopped to fit his game style that he tried to sell me on. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm definitely down to do voice work. And it turns out he never had that game, he just wanted to play games together, and we did, and ended up becoming extremely close friends, and now we make God Slap together. Like, he's been a friend of mine for almost a decade now. And it came from that. But there's definitely a dark side to that. The Sith Lords definitely did exploit that very stupid thing I used to do, just accepting any voice acting roles ever from anybody. So, I think this was after I had met Jackson and after we were friends. I can't quite remember the exact chronological timeline here, but I received a very interesting email from a very peculiar man that under any other circumstances probably would have triggered red flags in a sensible person's mind, but for me, I saw the word like voice acting opportunity and I was like, I'm in. Say no more.
Okay.
So I emailed him back saying that I was absolutely down to do this.
Was Moist a freaky frog? What the? Alright.
And when should we get to work on it? So we communicated back and forth a little bit and eventually set up a Skype call. Because this is when Skype was still popular. I think one of the best things that's happened in modern day is that Skype has died. That was legitimately just like fucking...
Yo, Skype is so ass, bro. I can hear the ringtone in my ear right now and the PTSD that it gives me. God, man. An immigrant kid's worst nightmare. Skype calls. Fuck Skype calls, bro. Hold on. Now I gotta listen to it, man.
Official malware. That was the worst program that ever saw success, and I am embarrassed that it ever got as popular as it did. But this was a different time and day back then. So we went in Skype and we had our first voice call a couple days after that initial email came through. And it wasn't like super weird. He conducted himself pretty professionally. He was trying to tell me about the game. I don't remember all the details around it. It was a game that never was going to happen, though. It was unbelievably ambitious. It was some kind of like MMO hack and slash with like a super deep branching plot lines, all made by him, the solo dev. He was just spamming every buzzword he could about this game, but again, it didn't matter to me because it was voice acting work and I wanted to get the reps in. And so I just said, yeah, like I'm super on board. Let's stay in contact. You can send me the script and whatever else you need. And that was kind of the end of our like introductory call. And man, did I open Pandora's box. Pretty much immediately after that call, he would start messaging me on Skype often. And it wasn't about the project all the time. Sometimes it was just about his day, which I would engage with. I'd be like, oh, it's really interesting to feel like he was interrogating me sometimes, where he'd be like, so what'd you do today? And I'd tell him, be like, oh, so like, you didn't really respond earlier. I thought you were just doing something really important, but you were just hanging out at home. That's kind of weird. Like, what, are you sure that's all you're doing? I was like, brother, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just not like always on Skype. He's like, oh, no, that's fine. He just didn't respond to me. And then he'd start gradually asking more and more questions, like questions you would ask someone on like the most awkward first date imaginable if you were some kind of Reddit mod. He'd be like asking me certain things like about anime and just like general interests and shit. And this is right before I had graduated college. I was still in college because I remember he was asking me about how my schooling was going. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it's going well. How's your project going? And he'd tell me some shit that I know wasn't happening. He's like, oh yeah, I got a lot of work done today on the game. I was in C#, really just fucking in my flow state. I took like the limitless pill and man, I programmed fucking 15 trees.
Brother took ADHD, bruh. Not AD. Oh my God, not ADHD. You don't take ADHD. What is that? Oh my God, what is that medicine people take to stay focused? Xanax? Is it Xanax? Adderall. Yo, I said brother took ADHD, bro. I'm dead.
Reason I have 17 actors doing mocap for me, and they're all martial arts specialists, so the hack and slash animations are top notch. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Do you have like that script or anything ready? He's like, oh, it's still being worked on. And then he just keep kicking that can down the road and change the topic of like, but enough about the game. Tell me about exercise physiology. What's that like? It's like, brother, you're not my mom. Like, why are you checking in like this? I don't care. And we're not really like close or anything. So why would you get upset if I don't like respond to you in a timely enough fashion? Like, it was just a disaster. So this went on for like a few weeks of this kind of stuff happening every couple of days. So and I was ready to just wash my hands of it and just say, all right, this voice work isn't worth, I'm not getting the juice isn't worth the squeeze, as they say. So I kind of just started to let that peter out. I'd really very rarely respond to him. So he'd send me like a few messages over the course of like a week or two that I just would ignore. And then it got really bad.
Dude.
This guy was sending me like deep messages, and some of them just very unsettling. And then he eventually sent me a message talking about how he's about to end it all.
Whoa!
And, he doesn't expect me to respond since I haven't responded in so long, but he just wanted me to know.
What kind of fuck shit is that? You get it all personal, then all of a sudden, oh, by the way, I'm about to end it all. What am I supposed to do with that? What the fuck? Yo, JNR is confused, bro.
How much are...
I gonna lie, JNR. This ain't even... This shit light. With the things we've seen in this stream already, this shit kind of light, bro.
Friendship meant to him and all that. And I fucking freaked out. Immediately responded to that when I saw it. And then he once again just switched gears and was like, talking about my day and his day and this and that, and once again just going down this small talk and then like interrogating me like, well, why haven't you been responding? So that I had to come up with a story
weird.
Like, oh, just haven't been checking Skype for the last
That
few weeks,
weird,
just
bro.
stuff going on. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, no, okay, yeah, I'm sure, and then getting upset and whatever.
No, he was getting mad.
Getting like professional help, which he claimed he was doing and seeking, but
brother, he had a crush on you. I don't know, Moist, if you've gone to that lengths with it, but this sounds like a dude that had at the very least a crush on you, man.
It wasn't really working. The only thing that really helped him was our little chit chats back and forth. So obviously I kept that door open, and luckily the frequency of his messages was much slower. So over the course of a few months now, his messages were far less often. So it wasn't that big of a deal, but it still just felt miserable to keep this communication open. It felt like a hostage situation where, like, if I didn't respond, he might do something, and it was scary. And as this continued for quite some time, he'd make threats occasionally of harming himself if I didn't respond in, like, a fucking speedrun fashion to one of his messages. When I got into a relationship, he sent a really creepy message.
Occasionally is crazy. You know how many times you need to get messages like that for you to just ignore that shit? I don't know if it's just me, but like every time I get those messages, I'm shitting my pants. Like maybe he called bluff the last 2 times, but what if this time's the one? Like what the fuck? L friend, bro. L friend. If that was his tact, like L friend, bro.
About like, well, is it serious? Why is it serious? What do you see in her? That kind of thing. Like it was all really alarming shit. And I'm not gonna keep boring you with details here, but similar to how Pokimane didn't immediately fire that guy because she like felt bad for him or was like a little afraid of what might happen or whatever. It's easy to take a step back when you're not involved in it and just be like, oh, this is what you should have done. But when you're actually in one of these like really weird fucking situations on like,
I will say this. To take it on a serious note, I think what Pokimane did do in hindsight was probably the right thing to do. Just because, again, from the way it sounded like, it's cringe. Obviously, this shit is cringe. Obviously, none of this shit should be celebrated. But it did sound like the motherfucker was coming from a sincere point of view in terms of, yo, I got a problem. I have a problem. This is the reason why I've been late on these deadlines. And this is so embarrassing, but like, yo, I need to tell you the truth right here and right now. You know what I'm saying? And problems like that obviously don't get fixed overnight. You know what I'm saying? You've been jacking off the Pokimane clips for 3 weeks. You think you just go cold turkey on that shit? Not now. You probably came his pants in that fucking Discord call. Live? Let me chill. But you know, you played that situation delicately. And those are situations that, as much as you can, you try to let them down. I can't even act like I just said that. You try to let them down as soft as possible and just let them. Woo, you know what I'm saying? So
a personal level here, it's just a little harder to do that. So I do understand that, but again, definitely the right course was firing that guy. In my situation, eventually what I did was I just stopped responding. If he did send me one of those messages, I would reply just telling him he needs professional help, and I won't talk further about these kind of things with him because I am not a professional. I'm not equipped to deal with that or handle that or help him in any way.
Hey, you know what, bro? After this scenario, next time I look for editors, I'm doing what we did today, man. Send me the Explore page first. Right? First of all, I'm going to ask you to hit me with a portfolio. I'm going to check your work first. Next step, send me your Explore page. All right? If it's too freaky, sorry, gang. I'm not taking that risk. Maybe you are a freaky ass frog. Maybe you are one of them ones, and I'm not trying to see. All right? I'm not trying to see if you're one of them ones. And then I'm going to send you the editing test, and then we'll go from there. If you pass the Explore page test. But nah, bro. If I see your Explore page and I see, whoa, is this Jabba's Explore page? And that's, yo, Jabba, I'm never hiring you for an editor. Yo, no way, bro. No way this is yours, bro. No way, bro.